So I super welcome to this session, ladies. This is really for female spiritual coaches, consultants, and therapists who want to create a sustainable and a thriving business, especially in 2021, because obviously we are in uncertain times. We have had quite a kind of a difficult year behind us, and I've decided to do a workshop entitled New Year, New You. So we're coming together, and I'd really like to showcase some of the things that I've actually learned and I'm doing in my own business that's really been working very, very well. And I've picked out 3 major steps to help you basically implement those. And we have that workbook. I'll obviously share that link with you in a minute again, so you can download that as well and sort of fill that in as we go along. So without further ado, so I guess you're here, and how are you going to benefit? Obviously, this is the most important thing. Is if you're giving up your time and your energy, obviously you want to know that this time is going to be well spent with me today. So this is for you if you are starting a business right now, or if you're growing a business. So either way, this is suitable for both avatars, so for both situations. It's mainly if you don't have a clear path, potentially, especially now starting 2021, and you feel like you haven't really reached your goals, your income goals specifically in your business, then I'm going to show you how you can do that and how you can plan how to achieve that. And also potentially if you're in a sort of situation where you are sporadically kind of doing some sales and marketing in your business, and it's not very well planned or strategic enough to actually, get the things working, or you're not getting, or there is, let's say the results may be that you're not getting enough leads, which you're not actually turning into sales either. So that's also impacting your business. There may be some of you who are making already some good income in your business, but you would like to leverage your time and your energy because you are serving, on a one-to-one basis, and potentially you would like to go over to a different business model where you can actually leverage your time, your energy, and your resources. So I'm going to show you that how you can actually do that and also increase your income, because we only have about 24 hours, 7 days a week. And then if you're homeschooling, there's even less hours in the day and so on. So how can we make a greater impact, continue to grow in our businesses, and potentially even leverage our time and even increase the service to our customers, because I'm going to show you what the different business models and opportunities are. Okay. And today it's all about showing you the ultimate 3 steps. And I kind of said, these are the 3 steps you will ever need to follow to create a profitable online business and create that predictable income. Because believe me, I was looking for that, that magic push button or some system that I could implement that would actually get me, to a 6-figure business, for example, overnight. And I tell you what, it's not existing. And this is not what I'm going to promote, right? That's not going to be the case. So there is real work involved in this, but there are a couple of steps which I realized everyone seems to understand. These are sort of major steps that you need to have in place in order to be able to grow and to create that predictable income. I'm saying predictable income because another thing I realized is in my own life as well as an entrepreneur, and with so many of my customers, that they, 1 month it's great, the other month they don't know where the clients are coming from. So it's an up and down. So wouldn't we love to get up in the morning and think, well, actually, I know who, I have like 5 calls booked in my diary, and I know half of them will turn into customers. And, all of these things are a little bit more sort of automated, and they're just there, and you just have constant flow of leads and constantly calls booked, and some of it is automated. I mean, that's probably the ideal scenario. I think it goes to say, especially us sort of creative female entrepreneurs, coaches, life coaches, therapists, I think we love to do the delivery, right? We don't want to do all this marketing stuff if we can help it. But unfortunately, we have to. So why don't we install a system that can work for us 24/7? So I call it the machine. So you create this one machine and then you just let it run in the background. And of course, it is not it's a lot of work to put it together and to make it work. But once you have it working, you have something there that will actually deliver something for you long term. Okay, so I think that is really what we're going to be talking about today. So I tell you what are the steps, and then we'll go obviously into the detail with these steps. So step one is definitely to have some sort of system, right? We have to have some sort of system in place that, and I'm teaching you the system that 6 and 7 figure business coaches are actually using. So it's not something I have actually come up with and I've just pulled it out of thin air. These are real big case studies where 6 and 7 figure businesses are really utilizing this, and this is probably their kind of secret, which I was sort of uncovered, and then I've started to implement my business and I was like, hooray, now it's working. So that is a little system. And the roadmap, that's the other thing. Obviously, it's great to have a roadmap, especially for a whole year, where we're going to be planning, potentially what are the steps you need to take, and potentially you want to also plan out your income streams, your pricing strategy, how you're going to launch it, how do you want to run these how do you want to run your business, basically, who do you want to work with? Yeah, so all of these things you want to put together into a roadmap. And the step 3 is the mindset, which is one of my favorites right now, because so often we have doubts in our minds, even though we have the system, we have the best roadmap, we know exactly what we need to be doing, and then sometime something comes up and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I'm good enough to do this. I'm not sure if I can do this. Other people are doing such a great job, a much better job. And there's so many other people out there that are delivering the same sort of stuff as I do. There's no more room in the marketplace. There's all this kind of chatter, and we're going to address that a little bit today as well. Okay, so what will be the benefits? I'm just going to zoom very quickly. So in terms of, you understanding the system will mean that you will have actually key metrics and key levers in place in your business. So when we talk about roadmaps, it's about a predictable system that we can build to know where you are right now versus what you need to do. And we can see where the gaps are as well. And then the benefits, well, obviously, as I said, when the self-doubt hits you, you're equipped, you become more confident what you do and how you show up as well, which is absolutely key, because quite often we talk about being more visible, building an audience and having more followers and all of that, right? So all of a sudden we become mini celebrities, and we got to show up. We got to show up for ourselves and for our clients. And we want to do that the best way possible. So I hope this is exciting. I am absolutely excited about this webinar or masterclass. This is brand new. I've never run this in this shape or form before. I really wanted to put the best of the best stuff into these 2 hours, and to really make sure you walk away with a great plan. That is my wish for you. Okay, and I know there's so many women in business that are really stuck and they really don't know what next, and they're trying so many different things. They're going on YouTube, and obviously there's so many different things and so many avenues and things you could be applying in your business, which may not work for you because they've worked for someone else. It doesn't mean that they work for you. I still believe we are all our authentic selves. That's one of my values in my business and how I want to approach my clients and how I work as well. I like to treat everyone as an individual, and I like to think about my clients that they have the potential. They have all the potential in themselves to make this work as well. So, and I'm holding that energy for everyone, and I'm holding this for you today as well in this session. Okay. Well, a little bit about me. I don't want to talk too much about me because I've been so many classes that talk like hours about themselves. But yeah, I guess I just want to say, look, I've been there myself. I have a family, as you can see. beautiful son and daughter, and they're growing up now. And of course, it's the homeschooling and all that, and a fabulously supporting husband, which I'm really, really happy about. And, you know, it is very important because a lot of women who are in business do have families, and there are challenges. So I just want to say, I'm with you on that. I am experiencing these challenges as well, especially during the lockdown. It isn't easy. And I do understand. So I think I can help you because I've helped myself as well. I've been through a lot of challenges, good and bad things. I've spent a lot of money in my training and education. In fact, I didn't actually come into the world thinking I'm going to teach female spiritual entrepreneurs start and build their businesses online. Actually, I was far from that. I was working in a corporate job in doing process project management, and then I moved into leadership coaching and training, and absolutely enjoyed that training. And then I was actually trained up as a teacher as well when I went into school, and was teaching languages there as well. So, you know, I love the teaching. I love giving others knowledge and just empower others. That's what I really do. I love doing that. And I'm sure all of you have your own whys. I'd love to hear what your why is, if you can put that into your chat, because into the chat as well, because I'd really love to hear, what is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing now? And maybe you've been already through some hardship and you had to get through that. And this is the reason why you do it now, because you know you can help others, because you helped yourself as well. And so did I. So I started off and I wanted to promote my leadership courses, and then I realized, oh my gosh, I should be expanding and not just looking at the local market. And then I started to look into the whole online world, and this is where I kind of opened a can of worm, which I kind of, you know, I actually wish I didn't open that can of worm at some point, because there were so many different things I needed to do, I should have done, could have done, and it was getting so super overwhelming and confusing that I was so super fed up. And I said, you know what, I'm going to start and teach how women can do this, like through shortcut. I'm just going to take the fluff out of it, and I'm just going to show exactly how to go from A to B. And I'm going into the chat very quickly because I'm very curious as to what your why is. Yeah, supporting people get grounded and take the next step. Okay, and help others make positive change. Yeah, I think we're all here about empowering people. It's about making that positive impact. And I think it is super important right now because the world needs us. We need to go out there. We need to share what we're doing. We need to be, you know, potentially also very clear as to what we do, because we want to reach out to those people that may not be in our arena yet, that may not know the, you know, the powerfulness of NLP, for example. So it's, how do you explain what do you do in a succinct way to your new prospects that maybe are stuck in a corporate job, you know, and they just don't know, they just don't, they're not fulfilled. Something's not quite right. Maybe they lost their jobs and they're completely depressed. So they need people like us. Okay, so I want to help you get that message out there. Yeah, I said I've been there as well, absolutely, and all these challenges I've faced. My achievements, I mean, you know, yeah, I've written 2 best-selling books. I've been working with another 48 authors. I got them their stories out there, and I've hosted those 2 books, and I'm writing another 2 books. So love actually sharing stories and empowering and impacting others. I've also built over 100K audiences on Facebook. I've got currently 11,000, a bit more now, LinkedIn connections. So I'm working actively on that as well. And I've done a lot of online TV series, interviews, and like being visible. I'm just saying that not because I want to brag, because I want to say, look, I have done it. I've had my fair share of ups and downs. I've gone into the pitfalls. I've done things wrong. Things haven't worked for me. Some have worked. And obviously we can learn from both. Okay. And yeah, and I've coached probably my lifetime 1,000 professionals, because I was working in the coaching leadership kind of departments with major, you know, blue chip companies, and then I did like lots of kind of group coaching and one-to-one as well. So that was always my thing. I always loved that. And yeah, and also and you'll probably hear a little bit more about this towards the end. If you decide to, you know, if you say, look, actually I would like to have some more support here, and I like what Sabine was talking about, then of course I can tell you a little bit more about my Quantum Growth Academy. where I've also already helped hundreds of women. And the other thing as well, if I'm the founder, proud founder of the empowerment portal as well, which actually is more catered towards large corporate, basically. So it's a corporate training platform. So that's sort of my second arm of my business. So again, I'm working with larger teams there. So I have a wide range of sort of experiences. So let's move forward. That's me done here. Your workbook is under this bit.ly link. So it doesn't matter if you don't have it with you right now. It's just something that you might want to sort of make some notes on. It can be also on a piece of paper, but obviously, you know, I've put a fair bit of time and sort of just wanted to give you something really nice that you can actually work from, and sort of give you some prompts and some structure as to how you can plan your business, the things that you want to take away from today. So it is just bit.ly /new you workbook. So I'm going to actually get that onto my screen in a minute as well, and talk through that. Now, this slide just shows a snippet of a couple of kind of stats that I found online. So you don't need to read the numbers. It's just really to highlight, hey, do you know what? Online coaching consulting is huge, especially right now, because everyone's moving online, and the market is going to be, it says here on the top, 319 billion by 2025. So isn't that amazing? We are in the right place at the right time, and we can service people globally, which is amazing, right? We just need to get some of the few things I'm going to teach you today right. But we are right. We're right in the center. I mean, everyone's got a laptop at home nowadays, especially with homeschooling, and they're looking for resources. People are actively looking and actively needing to change, needing to educate themselves, needing you know, to work on their personal development, professional development, anxiety, physical wellness, you name it. Okay, so you're in the right place, absolutely. Okay, so this is where are you right now. I'll put this model up because it's one of the things we do inside. We establish together in the Quantum Growth Academy, basically. So this is a slide I took from my delivery. I just wanted to show you that, and there's maybe a lot of text on the slide as well, so don't worry about it. Basically, this pyramid shows potentially where you are right now. If you just sort of focus on the middle bit, where you know have the struggling, trickly, flow, and flood, and I roughly estimate this is probably what the income would look like, because at the end of the day, it's amazing that we're making this impact, but at the end of the day, we need to also make an income, and we need to be able to feed ourselves. We need to be able to give back. Maybe we want to put money into charities. We need to make money in our business. Otherwise, it's just a hobby. So everything I do is actually going to point towards some sort of monetary results. But I know there's so many other additional things that, you know, we will get out of being in business, like fulfillment and everything else, right? But from that perspective, if you're happy to just say where you are you struggling, you know, if you want to share that with us, absolutely, you know, let us know in the chat. Where would you find yourself right now? I would imagine, you know, nobody's in the flood. If you were, then maybe this webinar is actually too basic for you, because I know I can help those that are sort of trickling and flowing, well, struggling as well. Of course, you may be firefighting. That means you really maybe, you know, have really nothing. Of course, we can help you with that as well. But more like the second and the third tiers, that's really where I think this is absolutely relevant to you, what we're going to talk about today. So yeah, trickling, yeah, absolutely. And there's no judgment. There is no judgment as to where you are right now. This is just a mirror and say, well, yeah, actually, I'm exhausted from doing one-to-one sessions. That's like, you know, I'm working part-time or full-time job. I'm doing this on the side. I really want to grow my business. So on the left-hand side, you have a range of symptoms, and maybe, just maybe, some of these actually really resonate with you. Again, if there's a symptom that resonates with you, let us know in the chat. Would love to hear what are the symptoms that you're experiencing right now. It could be a range of them, and I'm still experiencing a lot of these symptoms myself, especially now with the lockdown. You know, it definitely is still overwhelmed, and like I don't have enough hours in the day. Cool. I love it. Um, and of course, on the right-hand side, I've put some sort of keys to success as well as to what you would need to focus on. Again, we'll go through some of this today, but you can obviously take this pyramid and review that again, you know, through the replay, and just have a look at, okay, what are my three things that I need to go and do now? Because obviously your priorities will be different. If you're struggling in firefighting versus someone who is in flow and wants to actually scale up to the flood and maybe want to do more than 10K a month, they're probably in a slightly different position. Okay, so I just want to demonstrate there are differences as to where you are and what you need to apply. So this is a bit of a snapshot about business models. I need you to understand that before we go into the workbook, because I will ask you some questions in the workbook like, well, you know, how much money do you want to make this year? And let's plan this out kind of thing. And, you know, what are your income streams? But maybe you already have your income streams, and maybe let us know in the chat as well. What do you do? Do you have books? Do you have info products? So that means you have some pre-recorded courses. You know, if let us know what you have, and also what's your pricing at the moment. So it'd be quite interesting to hear. Obviously, you see there's a range of things you could be doing online. You could be having a training and the membership. Obviously, you know, the more left you go, the less kind of pricing, I guess you could ask, because obviously it's more like for mass market, and that means, you know, a book, info products are sort of anywhere between $1 to $1,000, right? These are just examples, but then, you know, these training membership sites, it's like, could be like a monthly kind of thing where you pay like monthly 27, 37, 47 or whatever pounds, dollars. Do you have a membership site? So let us know, what do you have in place right now? Some of you, maybe not many that I meet, actually have software and apps. I know one or two, but obviously, you know, that people could sell that. We could sell that online as well. Then obviously we have live events, where right now maybe not so many live events, but let's say online events, workshops that are paid. Okay, so paid sort of programs, and that's typically something that is maybe a day or half a day or a couple of hours kind of thing, right? So yeah, Vivian, yeah, you've done events, coaching, consulting, yeah, and you're looking at workshops and coaching. Fabulous. And as we go towards the right, as I said, group coaching and consulting, I actually framed that because this is really my forte. This is what we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to tell you why as well. But as we go into sort of the group model, I think this is highly leverageable. If you think about the leverage score, highly leverageable. And obviously there are always pros and cons, and you can read that in your own time. I'm not going to go through all the details, but I just want to highlight, obviously you have then the one-to-one coaching and consulting and the done for you model as well. Now, the con to the one-to-one consulting and coaching versus the group coaching is probably worth mentioning. As you can probably imagine, if you're doing lots of one-to-one, you only have a limited time frame. So there's only so many hours in the day that you can actually have clients. So how can you ever scale? How can you reduce the number of hours that you're working in a business if you continue to do one-to-one? Of course, you can make some great money because you've got to price yourself accordingly. If someone has a one-to-one time with you, your expertise, they have to obviously, you know, pay for that. So make sure you don't make the mistake that you underprice. I mean, many of my ladies who, a lot of wellness coaches I work with, they say, oh yeah, I have like this 4-week course of four sessions at £50 each or something like this, you know, which is like, they want to do good, of course. They you know, say it, and then they think, oh, maybe they can't afford, you know, my clients can't afford more and so on. So it's obviously not a lot of money for all this amazing lots and lots of effort and potentially huge transformations that they can achieve, that you're probably achieving as well for your clients. we think about life coaching. What kind of impact are you actually creating in other people's lives? It's amazing. It's almost like priceless. So you got to really think about that and really crank up your confidence level when you think about that, right? So I want you to take that little nudge here. So, and this is another model. I literally put this on there. I thought, you know what, I'm going to confuse you here, because this is like, oh my gosh, what's all this? So basically, this is showing you how complex some of these marketing systems can be, especially when you are looking at and I'm sure you've seen that when you look online, when you go on Facebook, you see something, oh, here's a $27, I don't know, template. Someone just sells some small course. And then you go and you buy this, and then the page afterwards says, hey, now here is a 47 something, you need that as well. And then, oh yeah, okay, maybe also have to buy that. And then something else happens behind that. So there's several different pages. We call that a sales funnel in the marketing terms. And to build a sales funnel with small products in the beginning is quite high risk, first and foremost. You wouldn't believe it, because a lot of people think, oh well, it's a no-brainer. If I offer something for £27, people would just buy it. Like, it's going to be very simple to sell it. But I'm actually going to prove you in a minute it's not. So this is really a complex thing, and this is where a lot of people make the mistake that they start selling something low price and then build themselves up, because you need to have a high-end one-to-one coaching or mastermind, something like this at the back end, in order to stay profitable. I promise you, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. So this would be pitfall number one. It's, do not think that you have to put out a low priced product as a front end, as like some video recording. It's great to have, and I know you're all keen to have sort of passive income and do all that kind of stuff. We can do that in time, but it has to be done in the right way, at the right time, in the right order. Believe me, okay? So, and I'll talk a little bit about this nurturing and everything else as well. It will all become super clear, because I have a 9-step process that I'm going to take you through, and you can actually plan it for yourself. So this is, again, it looks a little bit complex, but it's much easier, because this is a more low complexity, but also high leverage, high ticket funnels. Okay, so it looks still complex, but bear with me, just bear with me. So compared to this, right, where people are having to go through several pages, this is just, oh, I got through fast. Whoa. I've gone the wrong way. Sorry about that. Here I am. So this, where people are actually just going through 5 steps, basically. So this is step 1, basically. So one of the key elements you will need to have in place to create, that, let's say that scenario where, you wake up in the morning and you have 5 calls booked, and where your clients are coming from every single month, and how to create this predictably as well, so that you can actually plan, actually every month I want to have at least 5 clients, or maybe next month I want 10 clients. So this is almost like the machine, the foundation, the back end that you need to have in place, okay? Without this, it's going to be really, really, really hard. And I have been there. I have been suffering because I've not had this stuff in place. What happens is that we're sort of floating around on social media somewhere, and that's step 1, by the way. It doesn't need to be a Facebook ad, but as an example, I put in one of my Facebook ads in to say, well, this is step 1, somewhere on social media. It could be even a blog post, wherever you think, even a YouTube video, Facebook Lives. Someone sees you somewhere and hears about you, your services. And quite often, it's a case of maybe people are not really selling anything, mainly women I'm talking about, because we seem to be more shy and seem to think we are not worthy enough to actually put ourselves out there, whereas men are just going for it. So I think firstly, we should start selling more, okay, and say, hey, if you want this help, get on a call with me, or download this workbook. That would be the ideal scenario, to send them outside of Facebook, because inside of Facebook, it's getting more and more busy and people will forget about you, right? So you want to actually pull them out of Facebook. And if you just think about how you found me potentially in this masterclass, I did the same thing. I sent you to a landing page, which is step 2. So you probably saw somewhere post that says, hey, you know, I'm doing this masterclass. Then you clicked on this button that was there, or the link that you saw. And then it's like, okay, I'm doing this masterclass. You will learn A, B, C, and D here. Put your email and your name. Okay. So then your email went into step 5, basically, which is an email nurture sequence. So now I can email you every day if I want. Of course, this has to be done in the right way, you know, not to be spammy, but obviously to maybe continue the conversation, helping you on other things, you know, maybe you need more time, maybe it's not quite the right time to be working together. So you continue having this conversation. You have to warm up your audience. You have to warm up your potential clients. You know, it's almost like you can't, I think when you meet someone, you're not gonna ask them to marry you like the next day. It's about continuously getting to know each other and see, oh, okay, yeah, this could be a right fit. And you know, so it's about the I called it a nurture sequence quite easily. So quite simply is a nurture sequence. So we need to have this nurture sequence in place. Now, this happens in the back end. An email is being triggered. And of course, if you are offering some sort of step-by-step blueprint, as I have here, I actually have that out there as a freebie. It is a 1-page step-by-step blueprint to get predictable sales in 90 days. And then I will send an email in the background. But on the next page, someone will find a video. It's called the thank you page. Anyone who opts in, puts their email in there, will automatically go to the next page, if they like it or not. A lot of people make the mistake to just put their thank you very much, go to your inbox and download your freebie. Well, that's almost like you're losing an opportunity. You know, you have an opportunity on that page to come on camera and say, hey, this is me, this is what I do. Let me just take you through the freebie that we call it. Basically, the freebie is, if you don't know what it is, sorry about some of the lingo, but basically something you can offer for free online. So it could be a video, it could be an audio, it could be a checklist, something really simple that people really want and need. They want to download that, and you could make a video to explain how they can implement that in their business, or how to use it, and it gives you the opportunity just to get face-to-face with your potential client and have another touch point. And that's what you do in step 3. And what I also do in step 3, I have a scheduling page there. So basically, I will then say, hey, if you would like to map out your own 9 steps, please get on a call with me. Here is my booking link. So I actually have in step 4 a scheduling tool, like for example, you might know Calendly. I'm using Acuity scheduling, where people then can get onto my calendar, and then we have a call, right? And then on the call, we go through the 9 steps together. I help them map out the roadmap for their business, and then say, hey, you know, would you like to consider working with me implementing these 9 steps? And then maybe we can talk about you know, whatever program is suitable. So that I call is the high ticket call process. Okay, do you have any questions around it? Let me just sort of stop for a moment and just take a breather, make sure you're all with me still. Let me know. Yes, I'm still here, I'm still awake. I mean, are you enjoying this? Let me know that I'm not talking to myself. Susanne says she's doing one-to-one coaching and consulting. Karen is still here. Fantastic. It's great to hear. Good, because I only see like the slide. I'm sharing my slide here, and you know, okay, cool. Still here. Fabulous. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, if you have questions for now, because it may be you're seeing this the first time, some of you may not, you know, depending where, you know, how long you've been in business and maybe doing already bits and pieces, but this is the holistic system. So you need to have all these pieces, all these moving parts working together smoothly in order to, at the end, you know, create a client. So all good. Great. Good to hear. So right. And this is something I already kind of said to you about the business models. Where do they sit in terms of the success rate and in terms of the revenue? Okay, so I'm just using some of the examples from the previous slide. We already talked about slightly membership sites. They tend to be priced at a lower end. And with the success rate, I mean, how successful is your client when it comes to implementing and getting results? So with membership sites, it tends to be more of a a lower touch point, because obviously if they are if there's resources online, they go and they have to be sort of self-starters to study and to see how they're going to implement, whether then many may not implement. You just don't know, right? You don't have much control over it. So the success rate is sort of, it's okay, you know, I'd say it's above the line here. The below the line would be like minus, and the revenue is more on the left hand side, which is lower. Okay, info products, that is those pre-recorded videos, workbooks and so on. They're just sort of things that someone can just download and digest in their own time. Again, they tend to be priced lower, and the success rate in terms of a transformation seems to be also fairly low, because just think about it. How many things have you downloaded and then maybe not used? It's just sitting on your computer somewhere, right? So it's not about how much information we can collect. It's about what we're going to do with this information, and how we are going to transform ourselves and our businesses with that information. So it's about transformation instead of information. Oops, my mouse is too quick. So software is another one. I don't have particularly a lot of experience with software itself, but again, you know, if you think about some of the tools that are out there in business right now, like email marketing software, they tend to be priced anywhere between $30 to $100 or pounds a month. You know, it's that kind of thing. And obviously success rate depends what they're using it for. I don't have much of an opinion about it apart from the revenue. It's more like a tool, I would say, this software, unless it's some sort of app where it's almost like a self-study thing, I would have thought. So similar to the info products. Events is a little bit more revenue, because obviously the pricing is a bit higher. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh in terms of success rate. I'm just saying it's great to go on events. Like I've been to many of the leadership seminars and been through 2, 3, 4 days of coaching retreats and all this kind of stuff for the organizations that I worked for. They've sent me there, and then obviously on the Monday you come back, you're all sort of motivated to go and change the world, and then you're kind of back in this old environment. So the reason why I'm saying events may be success rate a little bit lower is the fact that if you don't have further accountability or check-ins or some sort of regular coaching thereafter, the success rate stays a bit lower, because it was a one-off thing, and then people go back and then they have to make it work for themselves. That's the reason why it's where it is in the quadrant. The one-to-one consulting is revenue is fairly high, I would say. So all of the four that or three, I think three, they're all in the same quadrant on the top right-hand side. Group consulting done for you, they're all sort of the highest. So that's really, I should put a box around those, the three that I would highly recommend to actually focus on especially when you get started, because that's where you can get the most revenue. You can actually help your clients the most as well, and you can leverage your time, especially with the group consulting. Again, the done for you services could be like an agency where someone does like sales funnels or websites for you, or sort of Facebook ads and stuff like that. So that seems to be very tailored, but you will be also paying high-end fees for that. So I hope this makes sense. This is just going to help you when we get to the workbook, because there will be a question, well, you know, how many hours do you want to work in your business? Like, depends on what operation model you have chosen for yourself. Maybe you were thinking about doing a membership site, and now you're realizing, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I should be doing group consulting and having more like maybe a 90-day kind of a mastermind, where people can get on a Zoom call with me and so on, right? So you may want to consider things like this. And I think very soon I'll have some numbers for you as well. And I kind of said this, information versus transformation. We got lots of stuff on YouTube, and maybe you would have even found some of this on YouTube, but obviously I'm going to tell you how you can implement that in your business. And we now have this almost face-to-face call. This is where, you can really experience transformation. Of course, today is like an event, and if you don't digest and implement that, then obviously your success rate in terms of implementation will be very low. But information obviously is on the left-hand side. I mean, that's videos, workbooks, with any further explanation. The memberships as well, it's on the left-hand side. Then events, and then the group and one-to-one consulting. So it kind of just mirrors what I was saying in the previous slide, and it just summarizes, I guess, because you could actually look at some criteria. Let's look at the leverage, the amount of leverage we have. I think the more right we go, the more leverage we have in terms of our time and our energy if we do some more group consulting. The confidence levels, as in like giving our clients confidence, on the right-hand side is higher. And the same with the commitment, because they may be paying higher prices. They'll be really committed to come onto these calls and doing some work. And they will also be more likely to complete. So there's the completion rate is higher, and your profit will be higher, and your positioning in the market will be much higher. So if you move towards the right-hand side, I think that's a really good place to get started. Not to say you will never be able to do any of the other stuff. You will then go backwards, and this is where where people actually start the wrong end and then trying to scale the other way around, and it doesn't work. Okay, so that's really why I'm telling you this. And here are some numbers for those who really love numbers. I've done this table just recently. I hope you can follow me, and you're not going to get lost. So I'm going to do this step by step, and I have to come out of my presentation mode so I can reveal the numbers below that. So basically, say, let's assume your revenue goals are 10K a month. Okay, so now you have to plan this and say, well, what are my income streams? And then maybe not just one, but maybe 2 or 3. But what are my product prices? Okay, so what's my pricing? And maybe if you're doing one-to-one, you might have a 10K program. You might have a 5K one of 1K, and then there's £100. I didn't put any specific currency there because it could be anything. Say £100, £10, right? But you still want to make 10K. So how does it look for each of the product price levels? How many people will you now need? And you will actually need this to plan your goals or in your roadmap for 2021. So you will need, according to this, for the 1K to do 10K a month, you need obviously 1 client at the 10K product mark. You would need 2 clients for the 5K, 10 for the 1K, 100 for the £100 one, and then 1,000 for the £10 kind of thing. Can you see where I'm going with this? Because I was saying to you before, like, oh yeah, if we have like £27 something, low price something out there, you need a lot of people actually buying this to make decent amount of money. And my next argument is you need potentially some leads. Okay, where are these leads coming from? So either you can do this all organically and you post on Facebook and other places, and you need eyeballs, or you need people seeing your offer. That's what a lead is. You can pay for a lead. You can go on Facebook, you run ads, and you will be actually paying the same amount on Facebook, at least, for any leads, whether they see a 10K offer or 5K offer or a £10 offer. You will see the same amount of pricing in terms of them coming onto the page. And whether they buy or not, that's that's where the craft comes in, because you need to have a very convincing sales page first and foremost, that they will come on a call, or they buy something there and then. So that's where the work really starts. But assume out of the 1,000 leads that are seeing your offer, say, you know, I'm assuming, say, different conversion rates. The conversion means they buy. So let's just assume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5%. That's just the industry standard. People who don't know you, the conversion rate, depending how well you can craft a sales page and how good your offer is and how clear your offer is and your message, which we're going to work through a little bit today. It depends. You can obviously get a higher conversion, but these are industry standards. Like, that's what you can expect. So obviously I've calculated in brackets. So 1% conversion out of the 1,000 would be just 10 people. So 10 people buy, is it 10? Yeah, 10 people buy a 10K product from you. Next one is 2%. There will be 20 people. So 20 people buy 1,000, a 5K product from you. 30, 40, and 50. And how does that impact your revenues? Now you're going to be a little bit shocked. I'm just going to delete that. Now you see the full numbers, because your revenue just from a 1% conversion from selling a 10K program is actually 100K. And if you are doubling your conversion and having a 5K program, you will also make 100K. But look at the other numbers. Like, hey, you know, you have 1,000 people looking at your $10 pound program, and you're just about making 500 pounds, which is insane, right? So the question is, where do you want to be? Would you like to just have a 1% conversion? Because obviously, yes, when, you know, if it's a higher price product, you need to actually, you know, target very well to get these people in who can actually pay for the service, and they're actually in the right stages of their business. But it may be a little bit easier to get a 1% conversion, you know, from that, rather than, you know, having to get 50 people to buy a 10 pound product. So somewhere in the middle is probably a good place to get started. But you can see these are really shocking numbers, but these are real numbers from Facebook ads. When you're running Facebook ads, even organically, or some people actually have a warm audience. That means, you know, they have a Facebook group. Maybe the percentages are a little bit higher. You can also do challenges and things like this that will actually increase that. But I'm talking about people who never seen you, who don't know what you're doing, and they come and see, you know, and go through your pages, and that's what you can expect. So it's quite interesting to see that the price, it makes such a huge difference in terms of the profit, and that there isn't much of a difference between the conversions. So I'm just going to leave you that there's a lot of number crunching. Just know these are the industry standards, and these are kind of, you know, just some thoughts around pricing. So now we can go back to the workbook. I'm going to just stop for a moment for a breather and just see whether everyone's still with me. Are we still good? Do we have questions so far? I think I just wanted to give you some background information about the stuff that you're going to need now, and sort of, yeah, there's some considerations, things. Maybe you had some aha moments. Share them with us. Share with us. Is there anything that it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. It's quite useful to know. Okay, let's just check time. I don't want to overrun. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. Oh, let's see. Let's see if Emma is here already. Just want to check in with her, because she's going to do the mindset part, and I don't think it's going to take too long before we can get her in. Emma, I don't know if you just can drop me a message if you're here, because I can't see everyone. So the workbook link, I can put them here. So bit.ly, New Year, New You workbook. I hope that works directly in the chat. Maybe you just have to copy and paste it into a browser kind of thing. So yeah, so just a little breather, because we've been going for about an hour. I realize it is quite high. It's quite intense and a lot of information, so I understand. Okay, so let's see. Did I just see Emma coming in? I'm not sure. Maybe she is. Yeah, just let me know, Sandra. But anyway, I'm going to toggle over to the workbook, because that'll quite neatly sort of move us into the space of doing some work, okay? Where is my workbook? Just a second, I'm going to find it. Oh, as Emma's here as well. Fantastic. Emma, as ever, you know me. I've been talking a lot, and I'm a little bit delayed, but I hope I'm bringing the best value to our ladies tonight. And if you want to hold on, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to go through the last bits, and then we can move over to the mindset. But we've kind of talked about step one, which was the system, and sort of just the knowledge about the pricing, the knowledge about how we want to position ourselves in the market, and what the potential numbers are in the background. So I think that was really important. Now, the step two is all about the roadmap. So in the workbook, you will be able to have a little, like a blank sheet. And I'm going to just quickly show you the workbook, because some of it can be homework, right? You don't have to sit here and sort of do it right now, because some of it may be like, oh, now I realize what we were supposed to do and why I need to understand my pricing, because the first sort of page in the workbook is about looking at your vision, and it's planning out what you want to create. So it's dissected into 3 different sections. So we have income, lifestyle, and time. From an income perspective, I think we had quite a good sort of insight as to revenues and different things we could be offering to the market. But really think about, how much money do I want to make from my business on an ongoing basis in 12 months. Okay, and you don't have to share it with us here. Obviously, we want you to sit down and sort of think, okay, what is it now, and what do I want it to be in the future? And it really very much goes with the lifestyle and the time that you want to spend. So I've been talking to you a lot about leveraging your time, thinking about the different business models and the revenue that you can actually add to your business by just potentially moving into a group coaching model kind of thing. So that's now your sort of thinking time, your journaling time as to, well, how do I want to really live? And hopefully after the pandemic, we can do normal things again. But, I want to spend time with my family. Maybe I'm now not so much time with my family anymore. I want to go out and do other stuff, right? Do my hobbies again, for example. But things like, how often do I want to go on holidays? Plan that in, because you need to have that vision to say, I am choosing to have that many holidays. If you love traveling like I do, I'm choosing, right? Plan for that. Yeah, maybe you can't do it right now, but choose it and create it in your mind, and then it will happen. Of course, we're going to put some actions in place behind this, but at least you have it on paper. You have it as like a vision in front of you. And it's the same with your time. How many hours do I really want to work in my business? Do I really want to work 10 hours a day or 50, 60 hours a week? Well, then I might as well just go back to a full-time job, right? So it's thinking about, how can I best, do what I love doing, and I can also have a great time and enjoying myself at the same time. Because there's income, lifestyle, and time, and hopefully you will find this in your workbook to go and journal as a homework. And then this is the where I'm on now page. So the 9 steps, I'm going to actually go through that with you right now. And you can actually give yourself a 1 to 10, and you can use the roadmap page to actually make some notes as to what you should be doing, and potentially also score yourself in each of these areas. Okay, so we'll head over to my PowerPoint, and we'll probably stop share and reshare the PowerPoint. to make sure I do this correctly, which is weird. So Emma, can you see my 9 steps? You can unmute yourself, Fina. So
yes.
Okay, perfect. We're in the right place. Okay, so here are the 9 steps. So basically, this is your 9-step roadmap. This is just has some black colors in there. It's just the same thing, very much the same thing, just a bit of a newer design. And I'm going to talk you through what this actually is. So this is my signature solution. Basically 9 steps I've put together, because there's always going to be some sort of steps that you're taking your clients through somewhere down the line. Even if you've been doing one-to-one coaching, there's some sort of roadmap, some steps that you're always teaching, or they should be taking towards something. So we are starting on the left-hand side bottom corner here. Maybe your starting point is that you're confused, overwhelmed, you just don't have a roadmap. So hopefully we'll put that in place now. And then you come out on the top right-hand corner. Clear and automated lead generation strategy, unique solution, more sales in less time. That's really what it is. And there is a message up there as well. These are the 9 steps to get predictable sales in 90 days. So there's a bit of a time frame as well. So it's another thing that is great when you are creating your program, your digital program, is to put a time frame against it, and also a clear target message and a clear results-based sort of message. So mine is here is for female spiritual entrepreneurs, therapists and coaches who want to create consistent income without overwhelm, frustration and detours. So sorry, now I did something weird. Let me just go back. So I'm going to go through the 9 steps now. And Emma, if I'm not sharing again, please let me know earlier. Okay, so step 1 is, where are you now in terms of your purpose? Do you know, are you clear about your purpose, your why in your business? So do you have something clearly defined? Clearly, you know exactly where you want to be in 12 months. Hopefully after this workshop, you will be scoring very high on this, because we're giving you, the tools to do that today. And also you need to know how much money you ultimately want to make, how many clients, what the different income streams are, what sort of programs you want to offer. Okay, so this is always going to be the first step, to be clear around that. And by the way, you will see on the left-hand side, there are 3 levels. So there's a pivot level, a build, and a monetize level. So the pivot level is basically right now, it's like the foundation. Like, we need to pivot, making sure that all the foundational pieces are in place. Then we move up, we're building on top of that. And then we can go out, we can be visible, we can monetize. The thing is, a lot of entrepreneurs go out and are visible straight away, but they have a wonky kind of, not a very stable foundation. They haven't really built those steps up so that they can confidently go out there, share what they do, and have a great offering in place that also resonates. And that's quite often, it's the approach of throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what comes back. This way, if you are using this roadmap in these 9 steps, you can be sure that you will actually build this up from the foundations all the way up, so that you have something really good in place to go out there and actually build stuff around it. And how many times, I mean, I've done this myself, built stuff, I don't know, a gazillion of different offers which didn't work, and then you start from scratch again. Oh, why did that not work? This way, you're doing it right from the beginning. Okay, so step 2 is then your success foundations. This is to do with mindset. This is to do with your daily habits, with the way you organize yourself every single day. One of the key things I'm saying here is about, to help eliminate the feeling of overwhelm, doubt, and fear and procrastination, is to have some sort of non-negotiables in place every single day. What are the 3 things I can do today to move the needle way forward in my business? And that's not about tweaking the website or, I don't know, researching X, Y, and Z. It's about at least doing some sales, having some sort of sales conversation, and before that, even getting into the right mind frame, and maybe looking after yourself in terms of physical wellness as well. So these are the really simple foundations. And some of the things is like we're doing admin, or I don't know, really silly things in our businesses that are not really moving us forward. And the worst is, I guess, get going on social media. We may be scrolling, we start to compare ourselves with others. We see things, we like, oh my gosh, I should be doing this, I should be changing up my message and tweaking it like this person does. And that's the thing, we want to eliminate some of these distractions, and that's where the overwhelm comes from, and procrastination, because we see bigger, better things, and then we feeling smaller and smaller and smaller. So if we have success foundations in place where we do maybe 3 things every day, and then the rest, you can tick the box and you feel like you accomplished something already, and then you can do the other things. So then the customer module, this is where we're now going into sort of, who are you actually working with? Who do you want to work with? This is where we teach something like a 5-star client policy. Who are your 5-star clients? Do you really want to work with 1-star clients who are creating you headaches? They don't want to pay on time, or they don't want to pay at all, or they want discounts, and so on, right? So who are these people? And it will really help you create that strong message once you really know your pain points of the customers, how they're thinking, how they're feeling, what their real problems are when they're sort of tossing and turning at night, and they're sort of maybe feeling anxious. What are their problems? I think my own clients suffer from, they want to have more predictable sales. They want to have more money in their business. Of course, they want to make more impact. Right? That's the whole thing. Yes, maybe you want to know how to do an email marketing campaign. That's just one of the part of a system. But really, if you dig down deeper, well, why do you want to learn about email marketing? Well, it's because I need more customers. Well, why do you need more customers? Because I want more sales. Why do you want more sales? Because it brings me more money. So you have to dig deep. Why? Okay, and then talk to them on an emotional level. From that, we want to create a core power message. And if you look at my 9 steps, here is like the core power message is, this is the 9 steps to get predictable sales in 90 days. So I have a clear time frame around it. And who is it for? It is for spiritual female entrepreneurs, therapists and coaches, and consultants as well, who want to create consistent income without the pain points, without the overwhelm, without the frustration, without the guru BS that's going on online all the time, with working with someone authentically, right? And without all the detours. It's about powerfully expressing what you do, how you help people, and how you are actually different from everyone else that's in the market. And also, the other thing is, we don't want to try to speak to everyone. That's why I said, well, I mean, of course, I can help non-spiritual entrepreneurs, and some of you are non-spiritual. I mean, they're sort of business coaches and so on, I mean, what is a spiritual entrepreneur? It's the next question. I know it's a lot of sort of wellness healers, wellness coaches, but this is the thing. If I put something up on Facebook, I can target more detailed, because I know who I'm looking for, who my clients actually like, follow, what sort of content, imagery they're actually, respond to. That's why we want to be so super clear with the message and the customer sort of persona. And then step 5 is about having something that you can build and you can call as your own. It's your own methodology, your own steps, signature solution, whatever you want to call it. What do you want to be known for? Do you have something that is the core of your business that you can be known for? Because I'll tell you what, if you have this thing, and this thing is actually right here in black, it's the 9 steps that I'm showing you. From here, you can be sure you will never, ever have any trouble creating any sort of meaningful content for your audiences. Any sort of Facebook posts, videos, emails, you can actually be sure you can create this from your signature solution, because you will address exactly the problems that your customer needs solving. Okay, so something like this is really going to help you stand out from the crowd. You can actually show visually what you're doing. Let me know in the chat, you know, what do you think about this signature solution? Do you have something already in place? Of course, it has to be a way to actually put this together. And it is 9 steps, by the way, because it's the power of 3. And I think it's something to do with NLP. Let me know. Yeah. Some of you actually probably know why it's the power of 3 and everything else, but it's a 9 step. It's absolutely, you know, if it was 5, it would be a little bit weird, I think. Everyone has a 9-step process, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, mastery, action, and passion. Yes. So that could be your 3 levels kind of thing. Absolutely. The power of 3, you can use a 7-step. Yeah. I don't know. I like the 9 steps because obviously I can put them in a row like this, 3 times 3. That works very, very well. And then we move forward to the build, the assets. So what are digital assets actually? So basically digital assets are things like your workbooks, your videos, any sort of sales pages, your lead magnets. They're also called freebies, something that you can give away, and you can actually collect email addresses, all these kind of systems, because you want to actually automate some of these things, make sure that you can, you know, continue conversations, capture people's details, and turn them into customers at some point. So it's about building those kind of assets. Just having a website, unfortunately, isn't quite enough. I'm actually a little bit anti websites, just because I have a website, by the way. It's a brochure. For me, it's like people can go look at what I'm doing, but it has so many buttons on it. And if I want someone to come and enroll into the Quantum Growth Academy, it's probably going to be a bad choice for me sending them to my website where they can read all about me, all about my books and everything else. And by the time they get to the Quantum Growth Academy website, they're quite lost and maybe confused as well. So it's important to have standalone sort of places where people can see your offers without being distracted. Step 7 is then, now you have all the stuff in place, you can go and you can do some lead attraction, because they need a place, they need a home. Anyone, you know, you come in contact with, you need to offer them something they can download for free, or go somewhere to go and see some offer or see a video of yours. That's why you need some sort of digital assets before you do the lead attraction. And then this is the whole topic about visibility and launching, how you're going to do this. You know, again, I would really advise you to think about, do you have a launch plan? Do you have something that you do on a regular basis? Do you have something like a signature kind of masterclass that you can offer potentially? So where are you there? Make a note of the kind of things, because you want to be consistent with your effort, but you don't want to be reinventing yourself every single time. And then it comes to nurturing and tweaking. So that means, you know, you may have gotten some leads through. So some people have maybe signed up to your email list. Maybe some of the pages aren't performing well enough when you look at your digital assets now, because, you know, we can actually track and measure the performances of this as well. So now we're getting more into the analytics and optimizing what we're actually doing. And we have to do this if we really want to monetize and scale big time without, you know, and going away from the manual kind of interactions and sort of, let's say, organic lead generation. We have to go through this in order to make it work. Yeah, and I put something here about enrollment script. This is also where we will have sales conversations. So it's like when you get on a call with someone and you have done this hard work, and now how do you have this conversation without being sleazy and without being sort of doing a pressure sort of sales? This is not a nice feeling. You know, how do you create these conversations so they feel like authentic, they feel relaxed, and you know, you don't have to convince anyone to actually come and buy something from you. So that's another thing that you might want to think about. And how do you handle objections? And the last step is about monetizing and scaling. So now you're really ready, right, to gain this more time freedom and everything else. You might want to think about potentially some paid ads. How do you do that? Put some things on autopilot, get some more into more get in front of more audiences, of new audiences, which you're, you know, is outside of your remit. and that you can do this sort of consistently in the background without you having to sort of be a slave to Facebook or to Instagram or what have you on a daily basis. Yeah, and then automated webinars and challenges, this kind of stuff that can be all done later on in terms of once you have got the digital assets in place. So these are basically the 9 steps that every successful, profitable online business owner needs to have in place to make it work. Let me know if this makes sense to you. I mean, or if you have any questions. That's really what I wanted to cover in this section. Are you with me still? I'm going to stop sharing. I think, let's see if Emma is around. If you're still around, I think Emma, we're going to go to the mindset, which is the third step. It's about, you know, you got to show up every single day and not only have the strategy and the systems in place, but also, you know, believing in yourself that you can do this. And I guess if you look at the workbook, you can make some notes there in terms of Emma's section. I'm just going to show the last bit of the workbook, if I can find it. I think did I close it now? Out of excitement. Oh no, this is the roadmap. Yeah, we've done that. So I'm going to share this one. So now you have the roadmap. So you have the 9 steps, and then we have the mindset hacks. So there are things like beliefs about myself, beliefs about my clients, and beliefs about my future. So those are for you to actually maybe take some notes, and I'm going to hand over to my wonderful coach, who is also delivering the Quantum Growth Academy with me, which is Emma Gosling. So thank you so much for being here, Emma.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you. This is here. Oh, Jazz is here as well. No, Jazz. So yes, my husband is currently fending off my child from bursting in while I'm doing this section. So he's under strict instructions. Yes. Yes. So what do? I am a transformation therapist, a hypnotherapist, and my expertise is in mindset. And my passion is helping women to stop people pleasing. I want to help them. They want what they need. We basically learn all these things as children. So 95% of your belief systems, your actions, and your habits are coming from your subconscious mind programming before the age of 7 years old, which is a huge amount of, you know, if you think about all the beliefs that you have, all the beliefs that you have about yourself, the beliefs you have about other people, they are, 95% of those are coming from what you learned as a child. Because when we're children, we don't have a consciousness, we don't have any, we don't have anything in our kind of subconscious yet, in order to make decisions, in order to rationalize, in order to evaluate things. We don't start evaluating, rationalizing, we don't start judging things until we're at least 7 years old. My area of expertise, and as a business person, I have been through these things myself. I started off as a holistic therapist with massive fears of being visible. Had a beautiful website with some stock photos and not even a photo of myself on there because I didn't want to be seen. I don't know how I thought I'd get clients. I didn't get very many, to be honest, because that was the thing. I didn't want to be seen. I was too scared, and I had quite a few beliefs about me being seen by others that had come from my childhood, and I basically didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe to be seen. It wasn't safe for me to be in the public eye. So the subconscious part of our minds, the part that is packed full of all these beliefs and all these thought processes and these habits, is controlling most. What I'm going to do today is just a little exercise, a bit of a visualization to encourage you or to help you to open up more to receiving, to receive and also to ask for more. Because if we have difficulties in receiving anything in our life, that could be compliments, it could be love, it could be gifts, then we're surely going to have money. So asking for things, asking for our needs to be met. Typically women tend to be doing most of the caring types of work, and so that tends to lead to, particularly with my clients who I work with, it tends to lead to overgiving, over delivering, undervaluing and undercharging. And women in particular are quite good at blocking themselves to achieving success. There tends to be a lot of fear of judgment, so fear of what other people think of us for being successful, also fears of failure, not being good enough, and so we end up doing, and it can lead to burnout and overwhelm. So hopefully you will enjoy this little exercise. If you want to make yourselves comfortable, if you've got your back supported, that's a good idea. And I'd like you to close your eyes. And I want you to bring your focus to your breath. I want you to notice your chest rising and falling. Notice the sensation of the air in your nose, in your mouth, temperature. Just bringing your awareness. If your thoughts start to drift away, just gently bring them back to this process. And as you breathe in, you're breathing in healing energy to every cell in your body. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out any tensions that are no longer needed. Breathing in peace and relaxation. Breathing out any unhelpful thoughts, feelings, or emotions. Feeling more and more relaxed now. Feeling more at ease, more at peace. And I want you to imagine or sense or know that in your arms, on your lap, you have a little baby. And that little baby is you. And now if you have photos of you as a child, you can picture exactly what you look like. You're holding that little version of you. That little version of you came into this world knowing that she was good enough. Babies never feel ashamed or embarrassed or self-conscious. They never fear failure. They're full of determination to succeed, to learn to feed themselves, getting food in their hair and feeling great and gorgeous and lovable and cute. And learning to walk and falling over and getting right back up again and keeping on going. So that little version of you knew that she was accepted exactly the way she was. And I want you to think about some of the things that you maybe tell yourself about your worth as an adult. Some of the things that you worry about, other people thinking about you. Maybe comparing yourself to others. Maybe fearing getting things wrong or not being good enough. And I think it's true that if you were taking that little version of you for a walk around your life, around the world that you inhabit now, that there is no way that you would compare that little version of you to any other little baby. There is no way that you would tell that little version of you that she's not good enough or that she'll never make it. And any of the negative things that you might say to yourself. Now, I see that you're all on mute, and if you can, I'd like you to repeat some words after me. And if you don't want to be heard, then you can say them in your head. Saying them loud is more powerful. I'd like you to say out loud, speaking to that little version of you. There are times that I have doubted you. There are times that I have compared you. Sometimes I told you you needed to be quiet. Hold back. Not speak up. Sometimes I told you you were not good enough. And I understand now that you deserve so much more. You deserve all the success in the world. You deserve all the care, all the love, all the abundance. I'm sorry that I stopped you from receiving at times. That I stopped you receiving care, sometimes love, sometimes money. I am now committing to you, to praising you every day. I'm giving you permission to succeed. I'm stepping out of your way. I'm removing any roadblocks to you retrieving your dreams. I'm giving you permission to reach your full potential. Because you are good enough. You always have been. And you always will be. I believe in you. It is safe for you to succeed. I'm here with you, keeping you safe. And just finally, I want you to say to that little baby, I love you completely and unconditionally. I love you exactly the way you are. I want you to say out loud, you are a lovable being. You are smart, you are talented. You deserve to be heard, and you deserve to be listened to. And I want you to imagine now the image of that little version of you just merging with your body. Going to find a little place for that mini version of you inside your, maybe in your heart, a little place for her there. Because that little part of you is unique, just as your DNA is unique, your fingerprints are unique, and your talents are unique. You are a gift to the planet. It's time for you to celebrate, embrace, and cherish your uniqueness. And I'd like you to take in a few deep breaths now. Just coming back to your full awareness. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. And welcome back. How was that? If you want to unmute, if anybody wants to give any feedback or Vivian says that was lovely, Emma, thank you. Yeah. I have found recently a little picture of me when I was about 3 years old, and I have that picture just on the shelf back there, and I always think about if I could walk her around my life, then I would not speak to her in the way that I used to speak to myself. I think it's very powerful work to really work on that. It's like your inner child, the part of you that was born knowing that you were destined for great things. And it really is our upbringing, society, culture, the stories that we're told, the messages that we're given, that shapes us and what we're capable of. It's not who we really are, it's what we learned. And there's a great quote, I think it's by someone called Daniel Spiegel, I can't remember his surname now, and he says, children learn what they live, and then they live what they learn. So they're in that first 7 years of their life, they're downloading all the programs of how to behave, how to fit into society, how to essentially, oh yeah, that's right, Dan Siegel, who wrote that? Suzanne, well done, thank you. That's where we're basically, our subconscious mind is forming this blueprint so we can survive as a human. We have to fit in with our caregivers, we have to fit in with the culture, the society, and that is why we have all these beliefs about ourselves, and they're passed down through generations and generations, depending on what people's experiences were throughout their family history, etc. So I hope that was helpful. It's a good exercise to practice as well, especially if you've got something that you know that's going to stretch you or take you out of your comfort zone. I don't know, maybe you're going to speak at an online event or something. Have a little chat with that mini version of you. It doesn't have to be the baby version. It can be like I do, the 3-year-old version or 5-year-old version, whatever you like, and just reassure that inner child that she's capable and that she can do it. And yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emma.
You're welcome.
Good. I think you all enjoyed that. Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna come back in. I don't know if you can see me. I can't see myself anymore, which is weird.
Yep, you're there.
Okay. So I'm gonna, yeah, I think we're moving towards the end. I hope you got some great insights. Let us know one aha moment in the chat. That would be amazing. I'm just gonna pretty much wrap up briefly with a bit of a couple of reflection questions, and I'll try to get myself back on the screen. I don't see myself, which is weird. Oh, never mind. Something with Zoom. So yeah, let us know in the chat your little ahas and takeaways, some of the things that you are, you think you can implement in your business right away. Some of the things you decided, well, yeah, I'm gonna I really need this. And yeah, really reflect on where are you right now in your journey, be it business strategy, be it mindset, be it technology. How are you doing in this journey? And just going back to some of the things we talked about, our 9-step process, where are you there now? What are your priorities, and how can you move this forward, and sort of plug some of the gaps here? And how confident potentially as well are you that what we've shown you today, that you can actually create a profitable business with predictable income by implementing this 9-step roadmap for some of the things? So I'd love to hear. Maybe you want to share between a 1 and a 10. How confident are you that with what we were sharing today, and you knowing now the 3 elements that it takes and the 9 steps to create that business, how confident are you? Would love to share that with us. And the second thing, as in like self-reflection, how confident are you that you can do this on your own? This is, I guess, where maybe the challenges are coming in, saying, well, actually, I kind of know what I should be doing, but the question is, will I be doing it? And will I be doing this on my own, and be myself accountable and know exactly what to do, when, where, and how? That's potentially always the kind of the crunch point. And this is where potentially some transformation could come in, and some support. And this is where I just want to sort of finish a little bit, as to say, well, yes, there is a solution. We would have a solution here if you decided to say, well, actually, I do think this is a great system. I believe that this could work if I implement this in my business, and I am actually confident, to implement this, but I do need some help. So we have this, and if you allow me just to finish off with the sort of next 10 minutes, I will just briefly tell you what we do, how Emma and I actually work with our clients, how we create this 9 steps, how we help our women implement the 9-step roadmap. Then I would just go through that very briefly. I'd like to thank you for coming along, and hopefully, whether you decide to work with us or not, we wish you all the best, and hopefully you can take some of this away. If you would love to get some more information and work with us, we have something called the Quantum Growth Academy. And right now we actually offer 12 months of support, because we understand what it takes to implement this, to tweak this, to add things, and to work on your mindset. It's not just a 4 to 6 week program and it's all done and dusted. Actually, we want to offer 12 months so that you can go away and tweak, get the feedback, and then go and do some launching. Will help you through those bad times. And when things aren't working well, there will always be those times, and you can always have that space. And that's the reason why we've created this amazing, beautiful space for female entrepreneurs. I'm going to go back, and Emma, let me know if you don't see the right slide. So I want to go back to the other slide deck where I'll have a bit more about the Quantum Growth Academy. So I'm just sharing that now. I hope that works. If I don't hear from you, Emma, then I assume it does work. So here I have, so we have 3 levels, okay? So it depends where you are in your business, how much support you might need. We have a boot camp level, which is more like the self-study, and I'll kind of talk to you about the different positioning, the different product levels and pricing. So yes, we also have a self-study option. We have the Quantum Growth Academy Lite, which is a 90-day mastermind, which is a bit more sort of intense the first 90 days to get everything up and running. And then we have a further 9 months of implementation support. So that takes it to the 12 months. And then we also have the Quantum Growth Academy Elite, which is a similar length to the light version, but it has some more done for you services. And I'll just show you this very briefly. I mean, the core is to look at, the 9 steps to implement, help you implement 9 steps, help you to create a signature solution, and really plug the gaps and all the things that we talked about today to really take that further and help you implement exactly what you need. Obviously, these are kind of criteria. If we were to choose how well five-star client here, it's really if you are a coach of some sort, a therapist, a healer, nutritionist who want to do some online coaching. Okay, so if you're purely offline, it may not work for you, but this is really about if you're thinking about creating a digital online program, or if you want to enhance it and scale it, and you're really serious about making at least £5,000 to £10,000 a month predictably, then this could be for you. And of course, you need to have some time to work with new coaching clients in the next 30 to 60 days. Typically, when the ladies come into our academy, they start selling within the first 4 weeks. So we don't have to have everything in place before we help you, to go and be visible and do some sales already. And you have to have some sort of desire and dedication to become a world-class coach or therapist or healer, whatever you do, because one of the things we also do is teach you how to put together your materials. There's not a lot of not a lot of coaches actually teach you what the best way is and to structure the modules of what you're teaching and that whole roadmap and all of that. So we actually teach that as well, help you with that. And of course, you need to be friendly and coachable. I'm sure you wouldn't be here if you weren't, because you've taken the time to listen to us and you're really ready to invest in yourselves, in your business, which, yeah, I'm sure, anyone who's serious knows there is some sort of investment. And when you invest, you will commit and you will see results. I've seen that myself. Once I started to invest in my business, things totally changed. Because obviously I put the money where my mouth was, and then I had to go and deliver and do, and it just brings a total different kind of dynamic to the whole business. Once you are committed, once you are in the right sort of group with like-minded people, you can bounce off ideas, you can ask for feedback, you can give each other feedback. All of this stuff is so valuable. It's just you're going to be in such a different environment altogether, rather than fending for yourself all the time, feeling lonely and trying to figure it out yourself, and why has it not worked, and not being able to ask those questions. And that's, I think, really what we bring to the table when it comes to the elite and the light version of the academy. And this may be a bit small now. I can you can have a PDF of this as well, but it just shows roughly what's included in the three in the 3 levels. I'm only going to go through the black, and then the rest you will actually see what's included in the others and whatnot. But the black one is the elite, and that has obviously lifetime access to the Quantum Growth Academy, which is an online program which is worth about £2,000. Emma has put together some amazing true potential audios. She will also run a mindset retreat. There will be also Q&A every week inside the Facebook group, which we have. We also will have Zoom calls. They're currently happening once a week in terms of strategy calls, and every other week we have accountability calls. So we really want to create that best possible sort of environment where you have accountability, you have all the materials, but not too much that you sort of finding yourself overwhelmed, but the materials, the information at the right time. You have workbooks as well. So what you've seen today is the kind of standard that we teach in, and really it's sort of like kind of like fill in the blanks. A lot of templates are available. So I'm kind of not going through the list one by one, but I'm just saying we have a lot of templates available as well when it comes to content creation, email marketing, all of these things. You don't have to sit there and kind of start from scratch. We already give you some sort of starting point. We have a branding person coming in as well to do a masterclass. We have, I've already said, the Quantum Growth Academy sessions, the hot seat sessions. We will have also Canva banners for you, so for helping you to create stuff for social media. We have some templates available that we have just for Quantum Growth Academy members. We also have webinar scripts, sales scripts. But it's not so scripty. I mean, I don't really like only scripts, because I believe we all are individuals. We all need to put our own spin onto things, but it's more or less like some sort of template, some blueprint as to what to think about, how to think about different things, what sort of questions you could be asking, what sort of content you could be creating. So it's not like, well, here are all the emails that I'm writing, now implement that in your business. That's not going to work, and I would not want that for anyone. So we're all individuals. We all still have our own voices, and that's how we want to treat our Academy members as well. Bonus 10, some more Wired for Wealth audios that Emma has created, accountability partners, which I believe is priceless, because that's really where the magic happens, when you have this accountability and also bouncing off ideas with some other peers. Bonus 12 is the live virtual mindset retreat, and then we have accountability check-ins. So it's a continuous thing. So with the mindset, with everything we do in the Academy, it's not going to be an overnight success. We need to continuously work on that. And when the rubber hits the road, I guess, when you do your first launch, it may not happen or the way you hoped it was, and then we'll go and do some troubleshooting. That's the reason why we have a 12-month program, or why we'd love to have you guys in there for longer than just the 90 days and then you're off again, because we know it takes longer than a 90-day implementation. We know after that is tweaking. It's about looking what's working, what's not working, and still have a place where you can come, ask questions, and get the support. And then we have live guest experts as well, which is included in the light and in the elite version, where we just pull in people that we believe you will need in time. So you will probably need something around branding, or you want to maybe enhance your branding. There's something around social media content creation, Facebook ads that's going to come in as well, and a writing workshop. So how do you write sales posts that don't feel icky? And then for the elite members, we have a done for you package. So some of the ladies that are on done for you package, they may be working full time somewhere, and they just don't have the time, and they want all the tech to be sorted out for them. So basically that's what we do in the elite package. And then we also have co-working sessions, like an afternoon of drop-in. So we'll be on Zoom and we just work on something. And again, there's extra accountability, there's extra touch points built in as well. And then bonus 17 is some additional one-to-one sessions with myself. because we found that, you know, some just want to have that higher level support and want to really, yeah, just want to go through their strategy one-to-one. Whilst I have to say, though, the group isn't like, there's not going to be hundreds of women in there that you never will be able to share or sort of, you know, be seen and be heard. There is always an opportunity to share and to come on that Zoom call and, you know, ask questions live. So that's really the kind of environment that we've created. And you can see, you know, the different packages, the value of obviously the boot camp itself is a complete self-study. You will get the 9 steps, all the videos, a couple of audios as well, but obviously it's about you studying yourself and going through this program on your own, which is £497, or there is also a payment plan available. And then you have the elite, which is £2,000, so 1,997, but obviously the value exceeds that well. It's about £12,000 of value. And again, there is a monthly payment plan, so quite conveniently you could be paying over 12 months because it is a 12-month support program, so you could be paying £197 a month. And then for the elite, we're talking about £3,997 and a value of almost £20,000 at almost £400 a month. To sweeten the deal, anyone who has been registered for the masterclass, or, you know, one more sees this in the next 48 hours and says, well, actually I'm a fast action taker, we have a few goodies, and these early bird bonuses are for those attendees, and 48-hour fast action bonus is the following. So anyone who purchases any of the levels will get our vision workshop. So we're holding a vision workshop in a couple of weeks, a live one where we'll help put together a vision board for you, and we'll also do a live goal setting session. For Quantum Growth Academy Lite members, we will also throw in addition, a copywritten 7-day email sequence, because at some point you will need to have some sort of email nurture sequence, and you want to have that professionally written by a copywriter. And the highest level will, in addition, will already get the email written already as a done for you package. But so in addition, the ladies will get a 60-minute one-to-one booster pre-kickoff starter session with myself. And that is really, really powerful. Really, really, it's been really enjoying these sessions with the ladies, and it's really catapulting them very, very quickly into the right place. So I'm excited. We, in terms of when this is closing and so on, well, we open the doors every so often. We're closing them as well, because we're running these sessions with a group over 90 days, and then we make sure that we're all sort of working together in the 90 days so that nobody feels behind. Yeah, and if you have any questions, let me know. There is a website. It's the Quantum Growth Academy. I think you've seen that already in the PowerPoint deck. You can apply to work with us, or if you already know which level you want to go for, absolutely go on the website, enroll. Once you're enrolled, we'll be in touch and we get you into the group, we get you up and running. If you have questions, you're not quite sure which level to go for, and you want to have a conversation, there is also a link there that you can just book a call with me. And I'll just put that in the chat quickly as well. So any last questions about the masterclass, any things that we have been talking about earlier before we move off?